All praises to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Just want to tell you guys a story this Shabbat. And I'm not sure, I don't remember if I told you guys this before, but I want to tell it to you now. I met a brother from another ministry a couple years ago. Brother Mitch. And he told me a story that I was actually surprised. I was pleasantly surprised, and then I was it was a little shocking, and it was heartwarming. And I think it's an incredible story in the faith. And basically, what he told me about building a community, I just asked him. I said, well, how are you going to do this? What's going on? How are you guys going to make it happen? And he told me that it's basically him and it's a number of families. Okay, it's about 4 or 5 families or something like that, and then there were some individuals, meaning they were not married. And he said that they all decided that they were going to go ahead and start a community, and this is one of the things that they decided that they were going to do. They start consolidating all their bills. They start consolidating all their debt. They start consolidating how they were living. That means the single people, shalom, shalom, that means the single people moved out of their homes and they moved in one house together. The married couples moved into another house. So now you have two homes, okay? One community, one assembly, 2 homes. One was a married home, okay? Probably the bigger home. And then the other home was a home where you have the single people. Okay? This is how they were building the community. So you had a single person's home and you have a married person's home. And they're all part of the same assembly. They start putting their money together, their groceries, the expenses and stuff like that. Remember, you're going down from everyone having their own individual home and their own individual expenses. And then you have these families that start to consolidate as well. And they start to pool all their money. And inside 1 year, they bought the land debt-free. I think it was $90,000. And they bought it debt-free. Do you understand how powerful that is? Now, I know some people are probably thinking, oh, well, I can't do that, or I can't trust people like that, or who's going to do this? And that's the reason why a lot of people can't build community. That's the reason why many people can't build community, because there's no love, there's no honesty, there's no integrity, there's no protocol. Everybody wants to be the boss. That's the reason why communities fail, because you have individuals who have ulterior motives. But not these people. Not these people. They decided to go into where you go to book of Acts 2, where they had all things in common. I believe it's Acts 2 and Acts 4, where they sold all their things and had all things in common and laid it at the apostles' feet. Now, on a side note, if people think that I want them to just sell all their stuff, give it to me and all that, I'm already buying my land. I'm already paying for it. Doesn't matter to me. Okay, so no ulterior motive there. But look at the type of heart you have to have. Look at the type of attitude you have to have. Are you getting it? Not everybody can do it. See, community isn't for everybody. See, sometimes it's a good idea for some, but in practice, they will not be able to divest themselves of all their worldly attachments and actually live for the betterment of the group or the assembly as a whole. That's how hard it is. So anyway, he's going to be the pastor of that community. He bought the land. He said a couple of other brothers have their name on the land as well. Okay? And obviously this will be the elders of the land, people, it's important. And then I get to pretty much like interview him, and I'm like, okay, so what's going on? What motivated you? Why did you decide to do it? Why? He said, well, I like the idea of knowing who my neighbor is. I like the idea that I can raise and rear my children in a good, clean, and wholesome environment. I like to know that I can trust my neighbor. I like to know that I'm around people who share my same values. So, what can we say? I think that was a beautiful story. I think that's what it's about. It's about being able to come together, just like they did in the book of Acts, come together, have all things in common, and that they did exactly, they're living what the Bible actually says. How many of us can really, honestly, and truly say that? How many? How many of us can really, honestly, truly say that? We have to take a long, hard look at ourselves in the mirror. If you really want to do the community thing, that's what it's going to take. It's going to take selflessness. That's it. And not everybody has the heart for that. Not everybody has the heart for that. I thought it was an amazing story. So that's what it's going to take, even with Remnant Ranch. Even on Remnant Ranch. And some people may, well, I don't have the money. What about sweat equity? Are you willing to put your hand to the plow? Are you willing to shalom, Rosie? Are you willing to put your hand to the plow? Are you willing to give of yourself? Are you willing to, maybe you have a particular skill. Are you willing to train the whole community so that everyone can benefit? I don't know. Are you a nurse? Are you a lawyer? Do you know carpentry? Can you fix mechanical? I mean, you there might be a tractor there or something. Can you fix big equipment? Do you know how to do you know how to process meats? Do you know how to can foods? Do you know how to purify? Can you dig a well? Garden, animal husbandry. There's a lot of skills and a lot of things that need to be done. And it's hard for one man to do it. Can you do it? Can you train others to do it? See, you find the people. That's the job of the leader. You have the leader of that community. And the leader of that community's job is to maintain order and to put everyone in positions of strength. Period. What is the code of conduct? What is the code of ethics? Are those things in place? What's the plan? What's the vision? What's the vision of the community? Yes, Rosie, it is in the U.S. It's in the U.S. It's going to be in Arizona, to be exact. Remnant Ranch will be in Arizona. It's raw land. And there's a lot of work to be done, but I got to get it done. So anyone who thinks maybe, you know what, maybe I'll try out Remnant Ranch. You've seen some of my videos, so you have a little bit of my personality. You don't know who I am. I'm not saying you know who I am through the videos, but if you go to fountainofisrael.com on the YouTube page, you'll understand the doctrine that I teach. In here, you can get some of my own personal thoughts on various topics. That's why I'm just trying to crank out as many videos, put out as much content as possible, so that you can make a decision to see if, yeah, I would like to be a part of Remnant Ranch. Yeah, I can follow this guy's teaching. You know why? Because I don't want us to waste each other's time. I don't want to waste your time. I don't. I value my time. I value your time. I respect my time. I respect your time. So you keep looking at the content to see if our values line up. But that's what the leader does. Some of these things can benefit others. Okay, see, like the sister just now in there, she said she's a lawyer. Okay, she happens to be overseas, but she's a lawyer. Benefit to the community. Gonna need law help type thing. Okay, you're a nurse, doctor, mechanic, see, farmer. You know, even if you have business skills to some level that can help others, the community will need ways to generate money. Mutual assistant group. A little different, but of course, still community type things. So, guys, that's the things that's the attitude you must have. You gotta be selfless. You got to be more concerned about the group as a whole because you are contributing to the ecosystem. You're contributing to that. When people come to the land, how much respect are we going to show each other? Yes, sir, brother. Yes, ma'am, sister. Sister, brother. Honor all men. Hold each other in high esteem. When you come home or when you're living on a community, and everywhere you go, there's a smiling face and there's how are you doing, brother? How you doing, sister? And building each other up. Want to know why? Because the world can beat you down. The world beats you down every day. Even in the world, they say you create your own environment, hang around like-minded individual. Same thing in community. It's the same thing in community. You decide what you're going to do because it's going to take a lot of hard work and it's going to take a gut check. Are you willing to put your hand to the plow? Are you willing to get them dirty? Are you willing to be selfless? Are you willing to cut some ties? Are you willing to step out in faith? Are you? Because if you're not, then you're not ready for a community. I packed up from Texas, moved to Arizona, and people still look at me a little crazy and like, "Whoa, why'd you do that?" Well, Remnant Ranch is not in the southern hot part of it, okay? It's not in the hot area. But that's what it's going to take, folks. That's what it's going to take. Shalom, Mordecai. Shalom, shalom. Solar farms can generate income by selling energy back to the grid. Absolutely. Absolutely, and that's what I'm talking about. You need people who think like that. Put a lot of solar out there and sell it back. You make some money. A lot of ways to make money from a community mindset. A lot of things. I want the community to be self-sufficient, self-sustaining. Gardens, solar, water. Gonna need to build a well. Gonna need to build a well. For right now, we got to haul water. Got a lot of containers. Big 55-gallon. Got a 350-gallon or 2,000-gallon. Got a lot of that. Okay. Got a lot of that. But I like the business ideas. Passive income. Actually, absolutely. Passive and residual income. Okay, have ideas on that. I make a living on a passive income right now. So, okay, but guess what? I would like everyone to do so. Thank you, brother. Rain harvesting, absolutely, absolutely. Rain harvesting. So we're gonna do that. So right now you have a lot of rain harvesting, rain catchment. Okay, down the line as a community, as a whole community, we build a well. Get that going. Build as much solar so we have a surplus of power. So we can sell that back to the grid. Okay? Get big satellite dishes and all that stuff. Not going to be in the dark ages. It's going to be fine, but it's going to take grit. It's going to take a lot of people. And this is the beginning stages, but it's got to get done. It's got to get done. Now I'm going to go ahead and shut it down and just simply tell you guys that you're going to have to take personal inventory. You're going to have to take personal inventory of yourself. Because you got to understand, do you even like people? Do you even like being around people? That's not to say you won't have privacy or something. Thank you, Brother Mordecai. It's not like you won't have privacy or something. I mean, you're going to have your own home, so you'll have privacy. But I'm just saying, do you like people? Do you like helping people? Do you want to survive together? Do you want to thrive together? Because it's not all about just suffering. Do you want to thrive together? Do you like the idea of your children playing with other children that share the same values? Do you like the idea that you won't be surrounded by paganism? Do you like the idea that you will break bread with the brethren? Do you like the idea that it can be an environment of peace, order, and holiness? Do you like the idea that you handle and settle conflicts in house instead of having to run to the unjust for justice? Do you like it where protocol is set up? There's a lot of things to think about. A lot of things to think about. But that's what it takes to build a community. But I'd like to hear your thoughts. What say you? Israelite Prepper.